and welcome to another episode of the Primer Podcast. My name's William.
And this is Davis, and we're back at the Galaxie Studio in Long Beach, California.
Absolutely, and we are here with Donald Galaz.
That's correct.
From Project Street Legal.
Project Street Legal, yep. That's the Brotherhood of Street Racers movement, the title that we put on the movement that we're, heading towards bringing back a legal raceway to empty Port of Los Angeles property.
Nice, and that's over at Terminal Island.
Terminal Island, yeah. It's right off Ferry Street at the exit from at the base of the Vincent Thomas Bridge there, next to the fire station.
There used to be a track there.
Right. The track was operating through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was ran by Big Willie Robinson and Tamiko, president and vice president of the National and International Brotherhood of Street Racers, in which I'm a member of also. The track was successful when it was opened, and it helped, bring a lot of the street racers off the streets and gave us a place to go on the weekends and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a safe place, safe venue to go and have fun for $10, run all day long. You can't beat that.
Exactly. I ran there like probably a couple of weeks before they closed, and I just remembered like $10. This is awesome,
Yeah, that was the 90s when I ran there. I wasn't old enough in the 80s. I used to go down there and watch. Since I live and I grew up in San Pedro over there, we would hear the cars in the morning around 10 o'clock, and boom, we knew it was time to go over there. And my Uncle Wolf would come by and, hey, you guys ready? And we'd go over there and hang out. And he had a Datsun 280Z at the time in the 80s, and those were big cars back then. But yeah, in the 90s, it was a beautiful thing. I was about 26 years old, and I was out there, and I had an El Camino, and I would load my brothers in the back of my El Camino, because at that time we were still riding in the back of trucks and everything, and sandwich bread, ice chest, and together all of us money, we probably had $40, and the El Camino had gas in it, and we'd go over there and I'd take an extra tire because I had a dog leg just in case I blew a tire out or something, and I'd go over there and we'd have fun all day long, and my parents knew where we were, and it was a safe thing for us and for everybody.
Yeah, because you have to pass tech. There was actually weren't there EMTs on site?
Right. There was EMTs that were there, available all the time. You had the ambulance ready to roll at any minute.
Security,
technical inspection. I mean, everything was a well-oiled working machine. I mean, if you had a problem with your car and you needed to get fixed, they wouldn't turn you away. They would make sure that, we're going to make sure that you're going to be all right for the day, and we're not going to turn you away. We're not going to send you to the street. We're not going to put the public in danger and yourself in danger, and they would help you out, A lot of guys that were teching over there, Mexican Henry and Angel Nieves, and these are all original street racers from the Los Angeles street racers back in the days before the Brotherhood was formed. And these guys had the knowledge and the know-how how to run a tight ship down there. Big Willie had a really, really good crew. The Brotherhood took care of the security itself, and pretty much if you remember the track back then, you knew that everybody policed each other, and it was our track, and nobody wanted to screw anything up. So I mean, if we saw somebody getting out of line or something like that, somebody would say something. It was a tight family type atmosphere, and everybody was together. Like Willie would say, the white, black, yellow, and brown, all the races mixing together, and that was a beautiful thing about the Brotherhood back then. So we're just we're not deviating from any of the plans, and we're not trying to change any of the formulas. I mean, it's all based on exactly what Big Willie and Tamiko started, and we're going to continue to keep moving forward with this. We got to press these politicians on these things. So,
okay. So Project Street Legal, wants to get the racetrack back on Terminal Island. Whose idea was this? I'm sure lots of people, hey, wouldn't it be great, if,
Right.
we can do this again? But, who's the guy that said, I'm going to do something?
Okay. Before we lost Big Willie about 2 years ago, I was hanging out with him up in Reseda at Ted Mosier's Picture Car Warehouse, and we had a meeting to go over the plans for a possible movie that's going to be launched about the life of Big Willie and Tamiko Robinson. And as me and my Uncle Wolf sat there and we talked to Willie about, different things that were going on, we asked him, hey, you know what, how come everything's kind of dormant right now? Nobody's doing anything. And Willie just explained to us that, at the time he had lost his wife Tamiko, and his drive pretty much it wasn't as strong as it used to be back in the days. And so he explained to us that, things have been kind of difficult for him making the transition with his life, losing his wife after so many years, that he kind of hasn't really been feeling it. And so at that time I asked him, because I live in San Pedro and I grew up in the harbor area, if he would mind if I would try my best to do what I can do for the Brotherhood. And after that moment, he gave me his blessing and said, hey, you know what? You live in the harbor area. You live in San Pedro. Why don't you start going at this now and see what you can do? So
so you're the guy.
So I'm pretty much the one that started this Project Street Legal, And at the time, I put the name on it because just like anything else that you see out there, there's a name for the movement. And Project Street Legal was a title that me and original street racer from Los Angeles, Angel Nieves, put on the title there. And we did that with the purpose to catch catch the attention of all the young guys out there, and say, what is this street legal thing? You know what I mean? They want to know what this is about. So we use it as a gimmick to draw them in. And it's totally the Brotherhood's movement. The Brotherhood is behind this. There are many members within the Brotherhood that are part of this entire movement. We got Kenny Russell and the guys from the drag bike division. We got George Coda and the guys from the Full Throttle Street Racers division. We've got all kinds of different car clubs that that are directly and indirectly involved with this too. But I'm basically the one that started it, and I'm not doing it to get any notoriety, to pump hit on my chest and King Kong look at me, because that's not why I'm in it. Like we were saying before, I mean, our main goal and focus is the youth out there. Education rather than incarceration for them, to get them to a safe venue to where they will be able to come home at night and don't have to worry about taking out a light pole or killing somebody else on the street out there, and that's been a lot of the things that the Brotherhood's movement has always been. The main goal and focus was the kids. Now we sometimes talk to the politicians, and right away they want to know the economic impact. Okay, to the Brotherhood, the lives that we save are worth way more than any money out there.
Absolutely.
So
where are you? As far as obviously Pedro, but where are you with the progress of this project?
Well, we began approximately like 2 years ago. January 18, 2012 is when we approached one of the first neighborhood councils in San Pedro. And what we learned from the past is that back then Big Willie used to go directly to the mayor and the politicians downtown, and he had a good working relationship with Mayor Tom Bradley at the time, and that's why he was successful opening up Terminal Island back then. And so what we learned from history is that we had to do the same thing. But because of the emergence of these neighborhood councils throughout the city of Los Angeles, there are new channels that we had to go through now. So now, before you even get to City Hall, you have to start at these neighborhood council levels. And so I started to approach neighborhood councils. And one of them was in San Pedro, the Central San Pedro Neighborhood Council, a great group of people. They cracked the door open automatically for us. I approached them with the aspect of this being a public safety issue, in which it is.
Very much.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
you hear about street racing on the news all the time. And, Irwindale's going to close here. So. Yeah,
we're dreading that too. I mean, we need as many strips as we can. When I sat down with Central and told them what we're thinking about doing, and explained it to them in a language that we can understand with these people that are they're just regular everyday people like you and I too. See, the people that represent the neighborhood councils within the neighborhoods, they're just people like you and I. Okay, they're not politicians. They're not people that sit downtown in City Hall. They're not.
They're community members.
They're
Right.
us. They're
Right.
us. We represent the people. We are the people. And so when I approached them, and automatically they wrote up a letter for us, a letter of support. I got one right here, and it opened up the door for the other councils within the harbor area that I approached. I approached 5 out of the harbor area, and I got 3 of them to come on board. And one of them, Coastal San Pedro, is pending. Another council in Harbor City, Grant and Olive Reed, the vice president and president, I wasn't even done doing my public comment, which is a 3-minute period, and they were like, we want to help you right away. Well, little did I know that Grant used to go down there. Olive used to take Grant down there back in the days and keep Grant out of trouble. And Grant was down on Terminal Island as a young man doing his thing in a safe, controlled environment, and where we're at with that is like at the moment right now, we're looking to touch a more broader audience and to put our voice out there more. We've got momentum, and it's slowly and surely like gaining, backing from people like Vic Edelbrock and Gene Winfield of Winfield Rod and Customs, and people like that are not afraid to throw their name out there and say, hey, we support this, and we're very fortunate to have people like that. Ed Iscadarian and Gardena. I mean, we saw him at, Moon Eyes the other day. And, I've met Ed on a number of times already. And he came down to the pits just to say what's up to me. I'm just a regular dude. That guy's a freaking legend, man. I mean, I run his components and his valve train in my car. But, man, when he came down the pits, he goes, hey, man, I saw you out there running. You're doing good. I said, yeah, well, I got your parts in my car, and people are standing around looking at us they started snapping pictures like crazy, and I started looking at all the people that are on. I go, you want to win some races? You want to win 7 out of 9 races today? Go up to Gardena, go see Ed, and get some nice valve train components up there, and you'll do good. And Ed was pretty happy, but, the people that I've been meeting throughout this entire adventure have been great. They've been real good to us, and we've had 2 Fox 11 Investigates reports on the illegal street racing already. We know that there's going to be a 3rd installment coming up pretty soon. We've got contacts with good producers and cameramen from Fox. These guys are real genuine with us. Dan Leitner and Olin, the cameraman, they are doing it because they feel that this is a worthy cause, that they see a problem within the city like everybody else does, and they want to, show what the solution would be. We hear these politicians talking about, we want the city to, the residents and the stakeholders to help us and give us ideals and what can we do to make your city better and this and that. So they go and give out the bike lanes to the guys that ride bikes, and they go and give out the medical marijuana clinics to the people that need the medical marijuana, in which I'm not opposed to any of those things, but what about us? What about the drag racers? What about the street racers? What about the guys with the lowriders that want a place to come and hop their cars? What about the young guys that are having car meets and they're getting busted at Krispy Kremes because they're hanging out showing their cars off? They need a spot. We need to be facilitated. They need to be facilitated. Terminal Island facilitated everybody. We've got a lot of people that are backing us right now that are real grassroots street people, and like I said, the momentum's been growing. Our Facebook page has been taking off. Guys like you in the Primer podcast, meeting you guys, you guys were telling me that you guys were talking about me, and then 3 days later we met at Edelbrock show or something. It's my friend Phil, which is a fireman over on Terminal Island, he works at the fire station on Terminal Island, and he was there when the track was open, so he used to watch the races. And a lot of things that him and I talk about are how we've been meeting people lately and how things are clicking.
The more you swim, the more you bump into something.
Is it okay? So is Terminal Island part of San Pedro, or is it part of Wilmington or Long Beach?
Terminal Island, if you look at older maps, it would be known as East San Pedro. Okay, it would be that's how it is on the older maps. The property belongs to Port of Los Angeles, We know that. And one of the things that's really funny about the Port of Los Angeles and the Board of Harbor Commissioners and the staff is that they're putting out the image that they want the island to be more community friendly. And so we are the community, and we want to be friendly.
I mean, what other facility is really a community out there on that island? I don't think there's much of anything, is there?
There's nothing out there. Well, economically, everything's out there. The containers, the shipping terminals, and all that kind of stuff. But on that particular,
I don't think there's a park there. Or
well, you know what?
There's a boat shop.
Yeah, the Larson.
What's something that's open to the public though? That's for the community.
They have I believe there's a Japanese memorial that's been they put up like a little memorial out there too for them. We know that the canneries used to be there back in the days. I mean, you guys are born and raised here in town and all that, so you guys know the history of the canneries and stuff like that too. Probably some of our parents and my grandparents, they worked down there before. But
the naval yard is gone.
The naval yard, yeah.
That's what started it.
Right there where Terminal Island used to be, the original track in the 70s, it was an airfield, and it was called Reeves Airfield, and that's how Big Willie used it. He also partnered up with the LAPD, and the LAPD used it as a training facility, which we can do the same thing. We can use that particular site as a driver training facility, as a facility for education for young people to come out there and let them know about the dangers of driving out there and what to expect in the first couple of years. As a parent myself, I got one daughter that's 22 and the other one's 16, and they're going to be, one's driving already, but the other one, she's going to be driving pretty soon. And for us to have that education towards anything that has to do with cars, it would be a plus for the community, seeing that a lot of high schools have done away with vocational programs. We don't have no auto shops no more. No. I mean, I don't see them. Like, how are all these things, I'm going to be bouncing around, but all this stuff is relevant to each other. How are our kids going to know accountability and responsibility if they don't know anything about the cars that they've been given to on graduation day? Some people buy cars for their kids like that and stuff. So we want to educate them where the dipstick is, where the trans dipstick is, where to put the water. I mean, some of the young cats that I talk to, these young guys, hey, did you know you could read the tire and it'll tell you how much tire pressure to put in there? They don't know that, bro. They don't. Wow. They don't. So, I mean, all that stuff is relevant with each other. I mean, we open up Terminal Island Raceway. We generate the money to put back into the local economy, and we also start a driver education and a small vocational program out there and be community friendly at the same time. And number one, save the lives of the kids and then protect the public at the same time. I keep going back to with the mayor and the councilman Buscaino and Janice Hahn and all these politicians. They always talk about economic impact, always economic impact. Well, let's go talk to the guys at Monster Muffler. Let's go talk to Alan at Monster Muffler in Wilmington and see how much of an economic impact he had when Terminal Island was open. Let's go talk to the guys at A-Line Transmission. Let's go talk to San Pedro Auto Parts, and they'll tell you, Carlos, the general manager over there, he'll tell you, you know what? We saw a big economic impact when it was open. I mean, and you guys are car guys. You guys know that.
Right. Super shops.
Super shops.
Oh, yeah,
remember, we
man.
had super shops every 10 blocks probably.
Yeah, everywhere.
We had one over here. We had the one in Torrance. We had 2 service centers out there in Torrance. And then the mom and pop ones were all over the place. The hot rod shops.
Reith Automotive.
There was one over there by the Crossroads too. It was right by the In-N-Out Burger and the Crossroads in Torrance over there. It was off to the left over there. I don't remember what the name was, but I remember walking in there with my dad, and there's just like engine blocks, and you could smell like carburetor cleaner in the air and everything. It was like, yeah, this is the spot right here.
Because you do a couple passes and you say, well, I think I need to tweak my carburetor. Right. Why don't you give me the Holly tune-up kit and let me start playing around with some jetting and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's that end of the economics, and then also, it'd be employing people.
Employing people.
Because someone's got to run it.
Right.
I mean, that could be a full-time job.
Job creation. It's job creation. I mean,
because you got to have the tech guys, you got to have a starter, you got
Tower people.
Right.
Concession.
You
You know what my idea with the concession is too, and this is going to be a great way to impact the local economy. How about we go throughout the harbor area to Carson, Long Beach, and Torrance, and all our different towns here in the harbor area, and we invite different restaurants to come and run their thing, have a concession every other weekend out there or something like that.
Well, what came to my mind was the food trucks.
I have a brother that's in the food truck game.
Because I mean,
It's a big deal.
You buy a permit, and then you don't have to pay for inspection fees
You're
and
ready to
all
go.
that unnecessary taxes when you're getting going.
Yeah,
'cause-
my brother was in the game. He's
then,
got
you
the
know,
ties.
and that'd be supporting the small independent community,
And that's a beautiful
again,
thing.
right.
Emulates what you're trying to do.
Right.
Very community based.
Right.
Create a schedule, and next thing you know,
They're
you're
gonna-
making reservations.
Exactly. And that's the way you see things like that happening in the community. You got a First Thursdays food truck venue that happens in San Pedro. You have one that happens at the Narbonne High School over in Lomita and or Harbor City, excuse me. And the money that's generated from these trucks, they give it back to the high school. They give a percentage of it. And the principal at the high school was happy to have money just to buy trash cans for the place one time. You know what I mean? So it's the no lose situation for the community there, you know. And who doesn't love the food trucks? I mean, come on now, those things are great. You know what I mean? We just,
Even if you brought a taco truck down there,
That's yeah. Starts there.
I know, and those are some of the things that it seems like when I talk to the politicians that I have to start over every time I talk to them. You know what I mean? It's like I have to start from square one again just to talk to them about things when they're like, I have to educate them again. They're not dumb people, but sometimes I feel like they're trying to wring me out so I can go away. And sometimes the game is played like that. And I was told by other people, they're going to try and string you along as much as you can until you just finally give up. And this is a big battle that I've taken on with a great group of people within the organization of the Brotherhood and other people that are affiliated too, like, Fireman Phil from the fire station and Ron and Don Henderson. They've chipped in, and you guys also. It's like, I got a good group of people right here. We're not going to give up. And, I've talked to everybody from Chief Beck, Mike Fuhr, our new city attorney, Lee Baca, Mayor Garcetti. You want me to tell you something about Mayor Garcetti?
Yeah.
When Mayor Garcetti was running, when he was just a councilman, when he was running for the mayor's seat, he came down to San Pedro to a friend's house and had a meet and greet there. And they had, hors d'oeuvres and drinks and this and that. And it was a fundraiser, okay? So he came down, and I got wind of this was going down. And again, taking from the history of Big Willie Robinson and learning his relationship that he had with the mayor, I said, this is the way it's going to go. So I went to meet this Eric Garcetti guy, and I talked to him about my ideals, and we sat and, we had good conversation, and he was real attentive at the time. All right, yes, this is good for the youth, good for the city. This is something I would want to do. We made a small contribution to his campaign. He ended up asking us to work his phone banks, and the Brotherhood of Street Racers came through for Mayor Garcetti. We put aside our family time and hours spent with our family, and some of us with our jobs, running his phone banks in San Pedro, in Wilmington, lobbying for him, making calls, knocking on doors, putting out the flyers and the leaflets. I mean, we gave it our all, because in front of the Whale and Ale restaurant in San Pedro, at another fundraiser where we contributed a little bit more money to him, he made us a promise. We had about 9 of our top guys from the street racers there from different divisions, and I brought these guys in. I brought George and Manuel and Fabian and the guys. I said, hey, you got to come in here, what this guy's telling me. And he says it in front of all of us. I said, hey, Eric, tell the guys what you said. And we're standing in front of the Whale and Ale. He says, look, guys, if you guys help me win, become the mayor of Los Angeles, and he starts pointing over at Terminal Island because we're down by the waterfront in San Pedro. He goes, you guys will have your track on Terminal Island. So under that promise, we got off our butts and we worked our tails off for this guy. And we don't feel that he's ignoring us right now, but we don't feel that we're getting the respect and the attention that needs to be looked at towards us. Since he took office in July of last year, under his office seat at the time, there's been approximately probably about 8 people that have been killed under his seat. The last 2 were in San Pedro of the last 2 were last year in December. One in Wilmington, a young girl in Wilmington, and another a friend of a family member got killed in San Pedro on his bike, street bikes, rice rockets, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the poor girl that got killed in Wilmington, she got ejected right underneath the marquee electric sign right there on Anaheim and Avalon Street. And she got partially ejected from a Mustang, and she was killed. And she was a young girl out of Torrance. She went to Torrance High, and it was a devastating thing to hear that and to know that these politicians were not paying attention. Later on that day, when I paid respects to that memorial site over there, and later on that same day, you see Janice Hahn and Joe Buscaino driving by because it was the Christmas parade that day in Wilmington, and they're waving and they're high and to all the public and everything. And 10 feet away, there's a memorial for a young girl that just got killed. Now, you guys tell me, do you think these people are listening or what?
No.
And that's the sad thing about it. I mean, these are elected officials that we elected to put in office. They work for us, and I use that term lightly because I don't want it to sound like I'm disrespecting them, but they're supposed to be looking out for our public safety and our well-being. And here we are, volunteering hours, trying to help them out because a promise that the Mayor Eric Garcetti made to us. And right now we're not really getting anything. I mean, the Councilman Joe Buscaino went as far as putting in a motion to the city attorney's office to look into the legalities of what it would be like, or what would entail to having a track on Terminal Island. Before he put this motion into Mike Fuhr's office, I was trying to get in contact with his office to show him the insurance papers and the coverage that we have by the IHRA as a potential insurance coverage company that wants to come and partner up with us. And so I tried to present this stuff to him, and his office never returned my phone calls. Nobody. Wow. I mean, why would they do that? And then he goes on Fox 11 News and plays the good guy. Yes, we've heard the advocates, and I don't know if you guys seen that interview, and we're going to put in the motions, and we want to see the legalities. But you know what he did, and it was kind of funky. He didn't put a return date on the papers and the motion, so we could be sitting in limbo, guys, for years, because he did not ask for a request date, a 30, 60, 90 day response back from the city attorney. So we feel that he played a game on us, and so here we are trying to play their game the right way, politics the right way. And this is coming from GED recipient sitting right here on the other side of the table. I ain't too swift on my school and stuff like that, but he just we didn't feel right when that happened. That didn't feel right. It didn't sit good with us. And a lot of my members, they're poised right now to actually take some kind of stance on what our next move is going to be. Hopefully, it does not end with 2 gassers racing down the backside of City Hall. But if need be, to get our point across even more, you guys will see that. I'm telling you guys right now. I'm not afraid to light my car up in front of City Hall. Big Willie did it back in the days, and history is going to repeat itself. We're going to be successful at this. We just got to stay at the heels of these people. We got to stay in their faces, and we got to continue to make noise. It's just, I don't understand how we can, participate and give them all of our time, and them and these people not to be, accountable on the end. I mean, they are supposed to be our protectors, so.
Yeah, and it's not like you're really asking, hey, we want to. What you're not asking them, what can we do? You're going, we want to do this, for all these reasons.
Here's an outline. This is what we need. Make it happen legally.
Right. And another thing too is we're not asking for free. We're not asking for the property for free. I mean, I'll be approaching the Harbor Department pretty soon, and I've talked to different people that work within the Harbor Commission too, and they were telling me that it wouldn't be a problem for us to have events down there. And this is what we want to do. We want to have events down there. We want the island to be more community friendly. And we're not asking for free. Nobody's asking for free. Nothing is for free. We know that, and it's just the Harbor Department and and the way the councils are working. I mean, you know how deep I got into this, guys? I actually ran for a neighborhood council seat because I wanted to get on the inside. I want to see, you know what? How does this stuff work?
Right.
You know, how does this stuff work? So I ran for a seat the first time, and I lost against, you know, a woman that had, obviously on paper, more than I do. She brought more to the table, and I felt kind of bad, but hey, you know what? You win, you lose. I came back the second time, and I ran, and I won. So not only I'm just a community member, I'm a member of the Central San Pedro Neighborhood Council with the interest of helping my community become a better place to live, and also a place, you know, that everybody's going to want to come and visit. You know, we had guys from Australia up at the Long Beach barbecue the other day at the Performance Plus. Hey, can we sign it? If we come back from Australia, we'll come and spend money on Terminal Island. We will come to the drag races and watch. Sign it. Sign it. They talk about economic impact. Well, here it is. We're going to bring everybody and everybody out there. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's
People travel, they spend money.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We got guys from the East Coast. There's a group of guys out of the East Coast, Grudge Inc., okay? A friend of mine, Teo Russo, out of San Pedro, he runs an internet talk show similar to what you guys are doing, and it'll air tonight. But we got guys from the East Coast that want to come out here. You guys know how big grudge racing is now. You know, it's a big deal. They want to come out here and they want to stomp a hole in California. You know, they want to come out here with their East Coast cars and their Camaros and their Mustangs, and they want to run them. And they want to run hard, and they want to run at sea level. I don't think a bunch of these guys have ever ran at sea level, you know. So I mean, you guys know you ran down there. I mean, it's the best for the car, you know, and it's just and back to the economic impact again. Here comes guys from the East Coast bringing their trailers out here in their cars, and they're going to need hotels, they're going to need restaurants, they're going to need all these things, you know. Even with the deal with the restaurants too. I mean, one of the incentives that we can give the public and the community is that, you know what, bring us a receipt from a local restaurant that you went to that day, and we'll give you a discount getting in the raceway. You know what I mean? And the same thing with the raceway. Bring a receipt from the raceway saying you were there, and the restaurants, we'll give you a free appetizer. You know what I mean? What's a bowl of chips and salsa costs that are free at restaurants anyways? You know what I mean? And they bring more people into their restaurants and hit them like that. I mean, the ideals are like endless with this thing, you know, from the food trucks to the restaurants to the auto parts stores to the public safety #1, and then back to vocational training again. I mean, my ultimate goal at the end of this tunnel is to open up vocational programs back in the local high schools again, starting with San Pedro High School. I would love to see that vocational auto shop come back. That's where I got my start. You know, my dad and my uncle, obviously I was raised in a car culture world, and I was working on cars when I was like 11 years old. I got my first truck when I was 15, and I still have it now. But the auto shop, Mr. Rivas there at San Pedro High School, is one of the guys that's like, man, he pushed me. And, you know, some of us ain't going to college. And a lot of these young cats that I go visit at the street races and I go talk to them, and we're out at Krispy Kremes and we're hanging out, you know what? They want to work on cars. They want to build their little Hondas, and they want to put turbos and big CV axles on them, and they want to do all these things. And a lot of these cats that I talk to, I see them doing these things, and they're turning wrenches, you know what I mean? And they're using spray cans and spray guns, not firearms and stuff like that, and they're not riding on walls. You know what I mean? A lot of these cats, they're not even into the drugs. They're into drag racing. That's what they're into, you know, and that's the whole thing. If we can get the kids to just concentrate on doing something like that positive, then they can be a contributing member to society, you know? I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, we all want to live good lives, you know what I mean? Have fun while we're here, you know, but it's just it's been a passion and a big deal of mine to try and accomplish what was going on here, and you know, we're gonna keep continuing to move forward with everything. So it's gonna be a journey.
Oh yeah. So you've got the community support. You're starting to get, you know, some politician support. What's the next big hurdle?
I believe the next big hurdle would be to get through the Harbor Department, the Harbor Commission, and approach them formally on public record. That way we can start the ball rolling with them. The mayor appointed Councilman Buscaino to work with us. We don't get calls back from his liaisons that are supposed to be helping us out. You know, the mayor appointed a gentleman by the name of Octavio Rios to help us out. And so we call him to go and have meetings with them. And we go sit down with this cat, and he's younger than us, but he talks to us like he's older than us, and like we're a bunch of kids. And
a little condescending.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, I'm in there with the big Ray Mulcahy, the president of the Pile Drivers Union. You know, big guy. You know, works out here in the harbor, and they put the port together out here, and he just wants to just let loose on this cat. You know, and he's like, I don't believe the way this guy's talking to us. Like he thinks we're little kids or something. You know, and it's just we would like to have the respect that is that needs to come to us. Because we were there when the mayor called us and when his liaisons called us and said, we need you at the phone banks, we didn't second guess it. We were there. So now the big hurdle would be Harbor Commission and getting through to the mayor. Tell you guys the truth right now, if the mayor said, you know what, puts in a call to the Harbor Commission, I want this raceway to open, I want that empty land to be used for this raceway, start the ball rolling. Guess what they have to do? They have to do it because the mayor picks and chooses the commissioners that sit on the board. Right now, they're in the process of elimination of an executive director for the Port of Los Angeles. So they have a temporary interim right now that oversees the Harbor Commission. So they're going through a process of elimination right now, choosing who's going to take Geraldine Natz. She was a former executive of the harbor. They're going to see who's going to take her spot right now. And you know what's funny about Geraldine Natz is she's a car enthusiast. She's got a 57 T-Bird that says 57 pink on the license plate. It's a bad, really nice car, convertible. And I thought I was going to have an in with her, you know, because she's car culture too. And, you know, it was one of those things, you know, hey, yeah, we want to do this. You know, let me know what we need. And so when I start to contact people, it's like phone calls are not returned. You know, and it's just one of those things. Again, it gets frustrating at times, but I know that the frustration and being projecting anger towards others is not going to get the point across that we need, you know, to do. It's not going to. Anger never, you know, gets any results for anything that, you know, when you come at people that way. And it
was the one that loses their temper lost the argument.
Exactly. And I mean, in the past, we've learned by, you know, mistakes that we made with the Harbor Commission. There was some remarks that were made by former Wilmington Neighborhood Council members toward our president about somewhere along the lines of, you know, during the Harbor Commission meeting, you know what, we don't want this raceway to open because we don't want your kind here. So when Big Willie heard your kind, he stood up. Now, you got a 6'6", 300-pound Vietnam veteran hero standing up in a Harbor Commission meeting. When Big Willie stands up, we all stood up. When we stood up, the Port Police came in, and guess what? You guys got to go because they felt threatened. They felt threatened by us. Yet our organization has policemen, lawyers, firemen, small business owners, restaurant people. Like, our organization is made up of all different walks in life of people. Is there some, you know, bikers in our club? Of course there is. We don't turn nobody away. You know, we're not trying to just build it on just one specific type of, you know, race of people. I mean, we're everybody. The Brotherhood is everybody. You know, we've got everybody in it. But, you know, it's just one of those things, man. It's just, the message is going to continue. I've even told some of the public relations people that work for the Port of Los Angeles, you know what, I'm a lot younger than you, and I'm going to fight you till you're gone. And they sat back and they take the glasses off. Like, did he just say this? And one particular gentleman said,
time and pressure.
He goes, and the one particular gentleman, he goes, hey, you know what? He goes, you're pushing a metal cart up a hill with this raceway program. And I said, you know what? At my garage, I got a big block 454 sitting on a stand right now. We'll mount it right up to this cart, and we're going to ride a wheelie up this hill. That's what we're going to do. And they just look at me like, where's this guy coming up with this stuff? You know what I mean? I'm just a regular guy, man. I'm just a regular guy from the harbor area. Got people and family and friends all over town. I mean, We're doing it for the community. We're doing it for the city. We're doing it for Los Angeles. We're doing it to show, you know what? We see a problem out there, and this is a solution. You see illegal street racing happening all over the entire country, and you see people getting killed constantly. We're going to set the bar as a city, identifying a problem and bringing the solution, which is to bring a legal raceway back to Terminal Island, back to M3 zone, where the noise barriers are, not even applicable down there,
It's
because
not an issue.
It's not an issue because we're around containers and ships. I mean, the port is constantly working. I work in the port too, part-time. I'm a casual longshoreman. My dad's a longshoreman. I got cousins and uncles. I mean, we're all down there. Everybody's down there. We know what kind of stuff goes on down there. You know what I mean? The Brotherhood Raceway and the Longshoremen's Union, we have a pretty good, relationship that's continuing to build. We actually have some of the petitions signed by numerous employees at the Tray Pack yard and the Maersk yard also. I mean, all these longshoremen guys, like a bunch of them, they got stuff sitting at home waiting. You know what I mean? They got stuff sitting. Mustangs are hiding, and there's stuff hiding out there, but you don't know it. But I bet you if we, once we cut that lock open and we get into the land down there, you're gonna see everybody down there. You know what I mean? So,
How much land is down there?
well, the particular piece of property. This is what's funny about the property. The company was called LAXT, and it was a coal facility. It used to be located on Outer Harbor, Berth 55 on 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, down by the 22nd, the landing, the restaurant down there. Right. So LAXT used to be out there, and I guess they decided to close it down because it's a coal facility, and obviously it's a public safety issue because of the dust and the contaminants flying in the air. So they move it over to Terminal Island. They invest billions. They build all the equipment and the machinery. They remember those domes that were out there?
Right, yeah.
And remember they used to be white?
Yeah.
And then they turned all black.
And then they turned black, right.
Nasty. So they invest. So they close us down in late 94, early 95 to put this coal facility out there. They invest billions of dollars into this coal facility only for it to go belly up and bankrupt because of the fact that it contaminated. And residents throughout Wilmington and the harbor area were complaining about this. So that particular property, I don't know what the acreage is and the circumference is, but it's right at the foot of the Vincent Thomas Bridge, and there's a circle of rail cars that encircles the whole complete property. Now, we won't have enough room to run a full quarter mile
That was
safely.
what I was just going to ask you.
Yeah.
Are you looking at eighth or quarter?
Well, we can an eighth mile successfully, no problem. But to tell you the truth, we could do 1,000 foot. We've already did the measurements out there. We can do a good 1,000 foot with a good shutdown area in there also. And to have 1,000 foot track, I mean, NHRA, their track is down to 1,000 foot now. I believe they took out the 320 feet because the cars are getting so fast now. But 1,000 foot, even if we can just crack the door open with an eighth mile, we're going to lose Irwindale. We know it's going to be gone. The last time Irwindale closed down, the streets got hot and people were getting killed. Okay, and that stuff needs to end. We don't want to see Irwindale go away. I have no opposition against Irwindale. I have no opposition against Fontana, Verona. We need back every raceway that we used to have. We need LACR back. That way the guys up in the valley could have a place to go run. We need the Terminal Island Brotherhood Raceway Park back, and then we need Irwindale to stay open too also. It's just... It's a no-brainer with that. But, yeah, we can run a good, successful 1,000-foot program, but an eighth-mile program, no problem. Encircling that particular property right there, there's a tunnel, an access tunnel that was built for the trucks that used to come in and out of the facility there. So we wouldn't disrupt any economic flow, or any cargo container flow wouldn't be disrupted at all. We've talked to people from Homeland Security, and they think that this is a great idea. Although we do not have it in writing right now, we spoke to different people, and some of the stuff that they've told us is that, you know what? We would love to see you guys out there helping the public, keeping the kids off the street, and putting more eyes out there on the island for us. Right. Exactly. And they want more eyes out there. And that's what they would like, I mean, as Americans, I know 9/11 impacted everybody, and it impacted everybody to this day. If we sit back and continue to let 9/11 scare us, then we've let the terrorists win. And as an American, that stuff ain't going to happen. I'm not giving up. You know, this is going to get really, really deep, and it's going to go a long way. And it just sometimes emotionally it touches me because it's a big fight that Big Willie always did, and he never gave up, and I don't plan on giving up either. So, like I said, these people that sit on the Harbor Commission and these people that are in downtown and City Hall, be ready because I'm coming after all of you guys, and I'm not going to get out of your face, and I'm going to be there everywhere you guys are. I'm going to be there. I'm at stuff that doesn't even have nothing to do with me. The Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad Project had a meeting at Banning's Landing, and I was there, and I had my street racer jacket on and everything, and a couple of people from the Wilmington Neighborhood Council told me, "What are you doing here? This has nothing to do with street racing." I said, "Yeah, but it's a public meeting, and I can be here, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." And the captain of Harbor Division, the LAPD, she saw me there. And, you know, they play the I see you, but I don't see you game. And that's what's weird about these people, you know, because I come from a generation, like I said, with a handshake and your word meant something. And when you talk to somebody, you looked in their eyes. And when you gave them your word, it meant something. But sometimes I shake the hands of these politicians, and it feels like I'm shaking those Swedish fish, you know, after you've been chewing on them in your mouth for a while, those gummy fish. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? It's like, why are these guys like that, man? It's like the solution is to bring back Terminal Island. We got to do it. I'm not giving up. These guys, I mean, like I said, the story hopefully doesn't end with a drag race in the backside of City Hall, but if need be, I'm prepared. And if I get my car towed away, then I'll get my car towed away, because you know what? I got another one at home, and I'll bring that one out too. You know, and it's just one of those things. It's like I got to stay in their face. I mean, and I got to thank a lot of people that are with me, you know, George and Manuel and Felix and all the guys from the active board, and, you know, people from Redefined Car Club. I mean, there's all kinds of different people. It gets crazy, man. It just, sometimes it gets to me emotionally, because I don't think that these politicians care about the young lives out there. And that's what hurts me. They don't care. But let one of their family members get killed. Let one of their nieces or nephews go to the street races one night and get mangled and ripped in half and hit a light pole, or somebody in the crowd's car spins out and hits them. And then what? And then they're going to help? The word proactive is way out of the vocabulary at this point, because being proactive, what 19 people killed last year, is like, you got to do something about it. It's got to be reactive now. What are you going to do now? Now what are you going to do? You know? I spent probably about a month and a half next to Joe Buscaino at flag football games, and my nephew played on his son's team, and I respected his time. I didn't bug him about nothing. I didn't bug him about anything that had to do with street racing. I show up at the games, I shake his hand, "Hey Joe, how you doing?" And I go sit over with my family, and I watch my nephew and his son play on a first place team, you know, that took the trophies and everything at the Bogdanovich program. And I never bugged the councilman, and I respected his time. And all I'm asking from the Mayor Garcetti and the Councilman Buscaino and Janice Hahn and Mike Fuhr and all these people that sit up there in those offices, to respect me and respect the fact that I'm trying to do something for this city. You guys are asking for my help. Here I am. Here's a solution. Wake up, guys. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Well, I don't know about you, Davis, but I'm sold. Okay, and I'm guessing, you know, the listeners are as well. What can we do? You know, the general public, people listening, people I'm going to send this file to. What can we do to help you?
I need more boots on the ground. I need more people to show up for our rallies. We had 2 rallies in San Pedro. One of them, we took over the parking lot of at the Harbor Department. We staged at the Home Depot in San Pedro, and we took about 100 cars down to the Harbor Department's Harbor Commission's parking lot down in San Pedro, and it was on a weekend. And the day before, on a Friday, I went and walked around and saw that there was no signs posted saying we couldn't be there. But yet, when we showed up, the Port Police were there, and the Port Police said, "Hey,
really?
You guys can't be here." And the original gathering was to thank Joe Buscaino for putting in filing the motion to the city attorney's office to look into the legalities of having this legal raceway. And so that's why we were all psyched up, like, yeah, you know, Joe's helping us. Joe's going to be the man. We're going to back Joe up. And so that's why we showed up, and we had hot rodders, low riders, we had junior dragsters, we had the Volts chancellors show up. And what I need more people to show up at these rallies. I need more people to go on our Facebook page, our Project Street Legal Terminal Island Facebook page, and I need them to like the page, the community page, and get all the updates. And when we have these rallies, I need people to show up. I need cars, I need hot rods, I need bikes, I need lowriders. I don't care what you have. Bring everything.
The Subaru guys.
Everything. I want the all-wheel drive drifters. I want, the guys with the modified SUVs and the show cars. We want everybody. We want the mini bikes. You know what? Let me tell you something about the mini bike crew, too. It's a big, big deal. David Rivas and the West Coast mini bikes, these young cats, they build these little old-school taco bike mini bikes, and they go out to the rivers, and they race them in the dry L.A. rivers. Well, the CHP comes out there, and they tow all their bikes away.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, man. What's up with that?
They could be doing something worse. They can be, writing on walls. They could be shooting, gangbanging.
Right.
But no, these guys are into restoring classic bikes, and they race them out there, so they get towed away. This is going to be a place for the mini bike guys to come and cut loose, too. There's no track for them around here. Can the mini bike guys go to Irwindale? Like I said, nothing against Irwindale, but will Irwindale let the mini bike guys run their mini bikes? I don't know.
Probably not. I don't know.
I've never seen them do it. I've never seen them do it. It's like even the stunt guys with the stunt bikes, like the stunning is big. There's a couple spots here in Pedro where the stunners come and they have fun on certain nights of the weeks. I'm not going to disclose what nights they are, but if you guys ever would like to come, I can bring you and you guys can come check it out. But like these guys are, from the motorcycles and the Down to Ride family, they want to be out there. They want a place to go pop wheelies and burn their tires off. Well, let's open up the island and let them blow all the tires off they want. At least they're in a closed, confined area that we know that the public's not going to get injured. We lost one of the guys from the motorcycles club in San Pedro. He died, on 22nd or 25th Street, a known illegal high-speed driving spot in San Pedro. Some of those spots that the LAPD and the Harbor Division, they've known this for years, but yet they don't do anything about it, It's just crazy. We need more community public support. We need more people to show up for the rallies. We need more people to go online, sign the petition. And you know what I think we're going to do next? I think we're going to put a phone number up to the mayor's office, and we're going to ask everybody to start calling his office, and we're going to start putting in these phone calls and saying, hey, what's going on? When you needed us, we were there.
What might be better for you would to compose like a form letter, or at least an outline and an email. Because most people, they're not going to pick up the phone and wait on hold. An email, especially if you had a rough outline, that would take seconds for somebody to do.
The way our online petition is set up is there's a list of people, starting with the mayor all the way down to the Harbor Commission and everybody in between and all the politicians. Every time the public goes online and signs a petition, they get an email to their.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
now,
Okay.
Fireman Phil from the SoCal Challengers, he set this all up for us, and so every time that the petition gets signed, so approximately right now, I think there's like 2,100 and something signatures that are up on the site. So it's hitting their emails, but yet we're not getting nothing back from them. It's like the way Phil set this thing up is like we got our ducks in a row. We got everything pretty much in place where we think it needs to be, and it's like we were just deaf ears again. It's the old saying, like my friend Fabian used to say, it's falling on deaf ears. And these are guys that are street racers up in the Palmdale, Lancaster area. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't seem like these elected officials that are working for us give a care about what the heck is going on. So sign the online petition. Go on the Project Street Legal Facebook page, Project Street Legal Terminal Island Raceway. Like the page, get the updates. The online petitions are in the threads there also. I'm sure after Phil hears this too, also he's going to repost it to the front of the page and go on there and sign it. You know what I mean? I don't care where you're from. I don't care where you live. If you want to see a legal raceway come back to Terminal Island and you want to come down and be part of a community project, come on down. We're not turning anybody away. Bring everything you got, and hopefully you brought enough, because I'll tell you something right now. There's a lot of bad street racers here in Los Angeles, and they want to show what they got and come run sea level with us and come and help us be successful down here in the island. island. So go on the page. I don't care if you're from Anaheim. I don't care where you're from. Venice, it doesn't matter. Go online, sign the petition, and be part of the solution to an ongoing problem that's constantly been a problem since the day the car was invented.
And if you're having a hard time Googling all that, just go to primerpodcast.com. Right up at the homepage, right up at the top, I've got links to the Facebook page and right to the petition.
Right.
So
I just want to thank you guys for that too. Also, to partner up with you guys is it's a big deal, especially being you guys are out here in the car culture world. You guys are what make things like this happen, and
we're just part of the community.
That's it.
And want to support you.
That's great, and like I said, we thank you, and it's just things like this that this is real grassroots. This is what it's all about. This is what America's about right here. What we're doing, what we're sitting here doing right now. We're trying to get these people to listen to us. If things don't start changing, I might be running for mayor pretty soon, and then we're going to take over City Hall and we're going to have a real good time. We're going to have drag strips everywhere, all over the place. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to do.
Nice. Well, Don, thank you so much for coming out.
You got anything else you want to add there?
I just another thing too. We've actually have a letter here from the Long Beach Grand Prix Association.
Share it. That's awesome.
Gentleman by the name of Dwight Tanaka, and he's the VP of operations. The K-rails and the grandstands that used to be down at the Brotherhood Raceway, they were all from the Long Beach Grand Prix Association. Long Beach Grand Prix Association has continued to show that they are willing to help this community project. We will have everything, the K-rails, the fencing, the bleachers that we needed to run this particular spot. That way, you know what? The funds wouldn't have to be allocated from anybody. It's a community project, and people from the community are pitching in. Long Beach Grand Prix Association is willing to help. They're willing to help come on board. And, people like Dwight Tanaka, and we got Scott Graham from LASD Sheriff.
Right.
Scott Graham, he's been a big part of this. Another gentleman by the name of Officer Billy Chafin, he used to have that Buick Regal that used to go out to the street races back in the days, and he would call the street racers out and get them to go to the island, and he would race them on the island. And Bill is somewhat affiliated with this movement too also. There's just so many different people that are involved that we've been getting a lot of good support. The SoCal Challengers, one of the biggest Mopar car clubs here in Southern California, they've been there for us. There's just a list of people. It's one of those things that if I forgot to put your name out there, who you guys are. We're not done. This is merely the beginning. Even though we're 2 years into it, it's gonna end. It's gonna end with us cutting the gate open. It's gonna end with the concrete laid. It's gonna end with Joe Buscaino cutting the ribbon on this drag strip. He's going to be out there. And right now, I'm challenging Joe Buscaino to a foot race at this raceway when we open up. I'm challenging him right now, Joe Buscaino, to a foot race on Terminal Island at the Brotherhood Raceway Park. And this is my call out to him. We're gonna take care of this. We're gonna handle this. And we need to continue to stay in their faces. The old squeaky wheel thing. And we're not going to give up. Like I said, I'm not giving up. These guys got a long road ahead, and so do I. But you know what? It's good. We're going to be all right.
So you're going to get probably 3 minutes to talk to this commission, right?
Yeah. Public comment is 3 minutes. So,
that's it, huh?
What I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to have them have a special meeting, an evening meeting. And if we're successful at getting them to have this evening meeting, that's when it's going to be the great thing for all of us, because
get everybody
everybody's coming. Everybody's coming. See, back in the days, the harbor, the port used to have evening meetings.
I know they get sneaky about some of that stuff. They have their meetings on Wednesdays at like 9 a.m. when the rest of us have got to be at work.
Or
it's short notice too.
There it is.
You know?
Exactly.
They purposely
what am I
work
doing
around you.
Wednesday or Thursday morning about 8 a.m.? I'm lying underneath probably a 10,000 pound pump vac truck over at Long Beach Spring, working. That's what I'm doing. And so things have changed with the city councils and the Harbor Commission. They got us in a stranglehold right now because they have these meetings at times when stakeholders are not available to go to them. So you got these motions and all these different things being passed and rubber stamped and gone right through, and people are not there to vote on them. One of the things that the Central San Pedro Council and the councils in San Pedro are working on right now is having evening meetings. How can the stakeholders get to these meetings? We can't get to them if they're in the morning. We're working. That's our job. I mean, again, they work for us.
We work, we pay taxes, we're doing our end, right.
So can we have their agenda for the month or for the entire year, they have 2 meetings per month, and they're both in the morning. Well, how about we come to a compromise and do a 50-50? How about you do one in the beginning of the month in the morning, and you do the second one in the evening in the same month? Why not? Why can't we do that? Port of Los Angeles says they want to be more community friendly. I mean, we want to be friendly too. So we would hope to think that they're going to stand by their word by saying they want to be more community friendly. I mean, they want Terminal Island to be community friendly. I mean, let's start with these meetings. Let's start building a relationship, and hopefully we can establish a great marriage out of this thing, and set the bar. Not only being one of the West Coast's largest port shipping containers, but also a community that identifies a problem and sees what the solution is. And that's big stuff right there. I mean, we're going to make new history. We've got old history of the Terminal Island, but you know what? We're going to make new history now. We're going to do it, and we're just going to keep continuing to move forward. But,
so more bodies.
More bodies.
More support. More faces.
Faces. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground movement. I mean, we need the troops. The last time we had a rally, I believe we had maybe 150 people, somewhere around there.
When's your next rally?
We don't know. And
that's why you got to hit the Facebook page.
This is we're going to put something on the page.
All right. And
we'll let like I said, Fireman Phil, he'll post something for us, and he runs that site for us, and you could reach us on LA Street Legal, and we're on Twitter too also. And all the social media sites, all you got to do is, Google them, and you'll get all the links. And go to our Project Street Legal page. Everything is on there. But we need more community support. If you're out there and you're the owner of a mom and pop hot rod shop and you want to get involved with this, and you want to put your signage up at the raceway when we open, those are the people that we want. We want that stuff. If you're a small restaurateur or something, you want to be involved with the concession end of this, we need to see these people. We want these people to be there.
Start building that relationship.
Exactly. So we need more faces. We need more people to show up in their cars, show up in their bikes. I mean, if you got a trailer car, bring it. The last time we had the Fox 11 Investigate reports, I probably had some of the baddest street race cars in LA, in Southern California. I think we had nine badass cars. And they're like, hey, what are we going to do with the cars in the trailer? I said, well, we're going to pull them off the trailer right now. That's what we're going to do. And we lined them up, and we had them up in San Pedro, and we had them all out there. And, I mean, big back half, big tire, paint roller tire cars, parachute trucks, on the street right there. And we got some footage out there, and that's what we need. I want everybody from the Volkswagens to the Volvos to the Dodges and everybody. Nobody is going to be turned away. We want everybody there. We want the mini bike crowd. We want everybody.
You want the news to be there.
Well, there's no problem with the news being there. All I have to do is make one phone call to Dan Leitner, Fox 11 producer. Actually, he's been calling me what's next, because they want to know what's going on. So there might be a rally downtown, but again, we can't do it during the week because we're all working. So right. We might have to occupy the rear steps of City Hall, like you see time in and time out from different organizations. You might see us doing that pretty soon. I would like something like that to happen, and I'm asking for a lot of community support right now in order for us to be successful and cause a big ruckus down there. You know what I mean? People make signs and come out there with your bullhorns and all that kind of stuff, and you know, that will probably be something next that we're going to do. You know, the news is there. They've been committed. Fox 11 has been great with us. You know, one more thing that I like to say too, also about different politicians, and I want to talk real briefly about Sheriff Lee Baca. You know, I know he's on his way out of office right now, but I just want to give a personal thank you and respect to this guy, because every time we called Baca to come and talk to him, he brought us in his office, and we sat down and we sat on his couch and we talked just like we're talking now. We went there 3 times, and every time we put in a call, come in, let's talk again. Where are you guys at? What are you guys doing? You know, I'm supporting this, and we got a new sheriff that's going to be elected pretty soon. But Lee Baca, personally, I believe he's a great man. He's a stand-up guy. I mean, he's a firm handshake type of man. You know what I mean? And he welcomed me and my friend Angel into his office all the time. Every time we called, come on, you guys want to talk again? Let's go. And we go to his office and we talk to him. So people say a lot of different things about different people, but I think Lee Baca, he was a great dude. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened with him in the jails and stuff like that, but you got corruptness in Washington too. So what are you going to do? You know, so, but hopefully I hit all the key points on everything. I mean, Project Street Legal Terminal Island Raceway is a Facebook page. You go up there, you'll see the petition will be up there. We need more people to sign it. Just keep signing it, and then share it on your page.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Share it on your page, you know. Link it into your page, you know.
Tell a friend. I mean, that's how
Post
things
and
like
repost,
these,
yeah.
You know. So again, Donald, thanks for coming out. This isn't the last you're going to hear from us. We like, with people like you, we like to do updates. You know, so when something new happens, and if it's on your Facebook page,
right? Toss us an email, whatever.
Yeah, we're linked in now, and we got all the contacts with each other.
Yeah,
we'll throw out information as we hear it,
because I mean this is important. You know, so
yeah. Like I said, I'd like to thank you guys too. So we're going to ask people on our Facebook page too, also, to go to Primer Podcast and like their page too. Also, let's see if we can, you know, bring their numbers up too. Also, let's give Primer Podcast the respect that they've given us, the Brotherhood of Street Racers and the Terminal Island Raceway Project, by bringing us in this morning on a beautiful day here in Long Beach and projecting our message. So it's time for us to help the Primer Podcast out now, and we're going to make their Facebook page take off too. So
right on,
help you guys out. So
alrighty, so. Again, this was awesome. So, until next time, my name's William.
This is Davis, and
Galaz from the Brotherhood of Street Racers.
But there'll be